life.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm gonna hop right to it with a few words of wisdom that I have for today. Ladies, you're gonna have to start lowering your standards. If you want to have marriage, relationships, healthy relationships, and all that, you're gonna have to start being more realistic. You're gonna have to lower your standards, and not in terms of who you are as a person, but what I'm saying, these unrealistic standards of these 6 figures or more, you're gonna have to change that mindset. You're gonna have to stop focusing on the money and focus on the person themselves. You're gonna have to start focusing on the person, their character, their morals, their values, things about them that are aligned with what you want in a man. It can't just be financial, because you're gonna lose every time. Because for women who actually make 6 figures or more and doing really, really well for themselves, which is not that many out there who make that, but if you are one of those women and you are looking for a stable, solid relationship with a man, maybe you want to be married, you want to have kids with the man, you want to build a family with him, you got to start thinking in terms of the person and not their finances. Now, I'm not saying he's got to be broke. I'm not saying that. You want a productive man, a man who knows what he's doing, a man who wants to provide you with the things that you are looking for, but it cannot solely be based on finances alone. It cannot be solely based on how much money he brings to the table, because most men don't make that kind of money. And the men who do make that kind of money, they may be looking for a different type of woman. Now, if you're fortunate enough to find a man who makes what you make or more, and he's looking to be with you and he wants to build with you, then great. But so far from what I've seen out in these streets, it's very difficult for women who make that type of money or better to find a man who's equal in that area. And if they do find a man who's equal in that area, he's not looking for them. He doesn't want a career-driven entrepreneur. He wants a housewife. He wants a woman who's going to raise his kids and be at home. I don't know how many times I've said this, but it's the truth. And we see it happening more and more every single day. Successful men are not looking for successful women who are entrepreneurs. And I think that's the dilemma that a lot of successful women are running into. And some women have accepted it and realized that, hey, maybe I'll just be alone, or maybe need to dial it back a little bit. Maybe me going for a man who is successful but may not be financially as successful as I am, he's still a successful man. If he's a good man, what's most important? And I think the most important thing that you hear women talk about is, oh, I'm successful, so I need a man who's just successful as I am or better, and not realizing that those men aren't checking for them. And you hear women oftentimes say, hey, I'm surrounded by doctors and lawyers all day, but they're not checking for you. It's kind of what I said in the other video. Hey, a lot of women are going for the men who don't want them. And meanwhile, you may have a blue collar worker who works hard, takes care of himself, doing really well, have investments and everything else, but he doesn't make what you make on paper, but he's doing really well. Oh, you bypass him because he's not good enough. He doesn't fit your standards. He doesn't look good standing next to you. So you dismiss him, not realizing he probably is everything that you would need in a man and more. Successful women often find themselves in this dilemma, because the problem is when women obtain a lot of success, they become very entitled. They become very elitist. They really do think that they are better than the average men because they make more money. But the men who make the money are not looking for independent, masculine, strong-minded, entrepreneur boss chicks. They're really not. So they're looking for something else because they have the money. They don't need your money, so they're not looking for women with money. They just want something that is more of a value to them. So you got to start lowering your standards. Lowering your standards is not a bad thing, because it doesn't mean that you're just accepting anything, because honestly, the standards that really matter are your morals, your character, your personality, who you are, what you value. It's not your money. And I think there's so much stock put into the financial aspect till people can't see what's in front of them. You can't see a good man that's right in front of you for worrying about how much money he makes. Now just think about this. What if men, the successful men that these women want, the men who make way more than you, what if men start looking at women in that same way? Y'all still will be asked out. If men start judging women based on the money that they make, and they start saying, hey, you don't qualify, you make less than me, you make less than me, you don't qualify. If men looked at women in that way, y'all would have a problem with that as well. That would be a problem. Why are men just looking at how much money we make? If we don't make enough money, you disqualify me, but I'm a good woman. Right. You would be able to argue your point. If men were treating it the way you guys are treating it, you would argue that you are a good woman, you have morals and character and values, and you'll be a good asset to him. But if he's solely basing it on your money, then a lot of y'all would still be asked out no matter how you try to flip it. So you got to start thinking a little bit better. When I say lower your standards, you need to lower these unrealistic expectations if you really want a good man, and date men who have the qualities that would be beneficial to a healthy relationship and not just the dollar amount that he makes. That's my words of wisdom for today. I hope it can help somebody. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all stay tuned for more, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions. Tell a friend, it's DeeDeesReactions.